Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we break down news from our city, our state, and our country. We take a look at your comments, ideas, thoughts, suggestions, questions, anything that has to do with connecting with each other and with our destination, Puerto Vallarta, our city of choice. As a community of English-speaking locals, I am like all itchy and stuff. I had a less than ideal weekend, I should say. My sinuses decided to have a party in my nose over the weekend. So, all that rain and all that forecast that was scheduled for the weekend apparently ended up in my nose, not in the city. But thank God for medication, and thank God for having scheduled a mellow weekend at home anyway. I managed to, while I was sitting here feeling sorry about myself, I managed to complete a very important project that I'll show you in the second half of the broadcast. But I really wanted to go check out, I found out that our new friend Rob, who has just moved here, hello Rob, has just moved to Puerto Vallarta, who's a musician. He did an impromptu set at Whiskey Kitchen yesterday. I would have loved to go and check it out, but I was slightly under the weather. But other than that, it was a wonderful, restful weekend. I hope you had one just like that. And I hope you're looking forward to a new week. I know that I am, and I have collected all kinds of fun and interesting news to share with you today. But before we get started, I want to, as always, welcome you all to Coffee and Headlines, particularly those of you watching live for the first time. If that is your case, you have the option of letting us know by writing the word new in your comment, and you will receive a lovely little welcome. If there is something really important that you wish to share with us, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. Then we will look for it and showcase it later on. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube later on in the day, your subscriptions and your likes are always appreciated. Let us dive into the news just to see what's going on out there. And today we start with the work being done along the northbound lateral road along Francisco Medina Ascencio, which is ongoing, and according to the Secretary of Infrastructure and Public Works, David Zamora, the company in charge of doing the work has very specific instructions to work 24 hours each day to ensure that this stretch is ready. Sorry for the sniffles. I'm still dealing with sinus stuff. Anyhow, that they're working day and night to ensure that this stretch is ready in 3 months and a half. So we have some clarity that we didn't have before. When we previously talked about this, we knew that the work was going to take 3.5 months, but we didn't know if that referred to the entire project or just this particular stretch. Now we know that it is just this particular stretch. Now let's take a look at the map just to see what this means, in case you're wondering. Here's an overview of Puerto Vallarta, and here is, if you see this little green line, this is the stretch that was already done. This is the one that took forever, and everybody wondered, why on earth is this taking forever? Then this new stretch is what's being worked on right now, and that is scheduled to take 3.5 months. Hello, Logan. It's nice to see you. This has everything to do with your turf and your bicycle rides whenever you get back to your bicycle. Anyhow, the remaining stretch in this project goes all the way down to the Puerto Vallarta Municipal Stadium. And that, of course, we have no idea how long it's going to take. I would estimate that the current section, which goes all the way down to the IMSS clinic, will be done by year's end, and then they will continue moving south towards Calle Francia and further south. Only God knows how they're going to maneuver the improvements once they get to the Libramiento, but ultimately it will be done, and it will be great, not only for people that are driving along the laterals, but also for friends that use their bicycles to commute. And we know of other improvements. We have mentioned this before, but it showed up in the news again. Improvements along the Malecón are set to begin shortly with an investment of 5 million pesos. According to Christian Preciado, who oversees the Municipal Tourism Office, improvements for the Malecón will also include the leveling of the bricks used on the Rio Cuale pedestrian bridge, which have worn out due to constant use. If you've walked on the pedestrian bridge, you know what I'm talking about. It was smooth and beautiful at the beginning, but the bricks that were used as pavement or for the floor have worn out, and now walking along the pedestrian bridge provides a colorful and interesting experience on your feet. Moving right along, the Federal Electricity Commission has announced a rate increase that will go into effect this month, representing an annual increase of 7.63% on our electricity bill. According to the news note, the CFE has a tool on its website that allows you to calculate the bill you are going to get ahead of time by entering the numbers in your energy meter. All I can say is, just don't go crazy with your air conditioning use at home, and you should be just fine. In other news, can a bar or restaurant determine minimum consumption or tip for you? The answer is no, according to the Federal Consumer Protection Bureau. A restaurant or bar can make a suggestion of having 1 drink minimum, 2 drink minimum, whatever, but you are not obligated to follow it. According to the Bureau's director, Ricardo Sheffield, and I quote, "The goal with this measure is to protect the rights of consumers and to promote a fair and transparent experience at bars and restaurants. Consumers should be free to determine how much they wish to spend and how large a tip they wish to leave without feeling pressured." This is very timely because, again, this is September, and September is a slow month, so I don't doubt that local restaurants or bars may try to get colorful with their guidelines, so it is not a bad time to take a close look at your bill when you get it. Make sure that tips were not previously added to the bill, or that they make impositions on how much to eat, drink, or spend. Our complainer article for the day comes from Tribuna de la Bahía. So you fly into Puerto Vallarta and land at the local airport. Somebody will pick you up, or perhaps you will hire a cab to take you to your destination. But what if you wish to take public transportation? According to Tribuna de la Bahía, they shared this lovely photograph of the bus stop at the airport, which is missing a roof and it's missing advertisements on the banner spot. According to them, the city of Puerto Vallarta relies on an external company that the current administration hired, and they handle all the advertisements that are placed at the bus stops. And as you can see, they are doing a darling job at keeping this one in tip top shape. And we now have the very first presidential candidate official announcement. Xochitl Galvez, representing the Frente Amplio para México, or the Broad Front for Mexico, became the first presidential candidate to be announced yesterday. The Broad Front for Mexico is a political alliance formed by three Mexican political parties: the National Action Party, or the PAN, the Institutional Revolutionary Party, or the PRI, and the Party of the Democratic Revolution, the PRD. In case you are wondering, the name Xochitl, which is hard to pronounce, comes from the Nahuatl language, and it means a flower. So what does this mean for Mexican politics? Well, the three important parties have put together their own candidate. We're still waiting on the Morena party, which is a ruling party, to make their official announcement of who the candidate is going to be. And as of present time, I don't know if there are other candidates that will be announced. Things are likely to get interesting as we move closer to presidential elections, which of course take place this coming year. And now let's take a quick look at the weather just to see what's going on out there. I put the weather on my screen, and the oh, that's funny. Why is no one interested in paying for the release of all the Burning Man attendees that I captured? Bummer. If you don't know what this is about, apparently there were floodings and lots of rain and whatnot at Burning Man this year, and a huge number of people got trapped there. Not much we can do about that. Let's take a look at the numbers. We are now enjoying 30 degrees Celsius. We have 81% humidity, ouch. And our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 86 at present time. We are looking at today mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 49%, a high of 33 and a low of 25. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we can expect rain in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. Chance of rain of 68%, a high of 32 and a low of 25. And then on Wednesday, it'll be a little warmer, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. A chance of rain of 86%, a high of 33 and a low of 25. So, as I mentioned, I spent the weekend clearing my throat and blowing my nose. Not a fun place to be. It's allergies. It is this, that, and the other. But it was also a time to be very productive. And I want to show you what I was up to. Let me set this up. I set myself a mission to crochet a new blanket to ride on the bus. And there's a big story behind this blanket because I have to acknowledge a few people. First of all, Christy, yes, our beloved squirrel hero, rescuer Christy, brought me down from the United States some gorgeous cotton yarn last year, and I had always seen the brand advertised, and I didn't know what it was like to work with it, and it turned out to be really wonderful. So then I ordered some colors of my own for in a small package, but then it was not going to be enough. And then our friend Todd from Best Cord Cutting TV brought me more yarn from the United States, and because I wanted to make sure that I had a huge blanket, then my friend Eric also ended up schlepping additional of this, more of this cotton yarn for me to be able to do my blankie. So I want to acknowledge them all and let you know that it is here, and it is huge. Let me see if I can actually show you the whole thing. It is my blankie. This is gonna be my new official Ride the bus blankie. Why a ride the bus blankie? Well, because when you ride the ETN bus, it's cold and I want to snuggle, and so I have to have a blankie. It's also good for going to the movies only when they turn the air conditioning up. So, anyhow, I just wanted to acknowledge each one of you. First of all, Christy. Thank you, Christy, for introducing me to this lovely brand of cotton yarn. And thank you to Todd, and certainly thank you to Eric, who ended up schlepping. I didn't know that Eric was traveling light, and then he told me, well, your yarn was not as unbulky as you thought, and I felt really bad, but it's okay. At least he told me it's okay. I love you, Eric. Thank you for schlepping my yarn when it was not as convenient. And moving right along, it's time. I think this was bound to happen at some point or another here in Puerto Vallarta, but there is a new performance venue in town. Act 2 Entertainment and The Palm and Encanto now have a new contender with a new performance venue that has opened its doors at Medina Vallarta, offering entertainment options for visitors and locals. It is called Rouge Theater, and it is located at Plaza Neptuno. The venue plans to offer late-night shows on Thursdays and Fridays, along with a variety of performances during the rest of the week. I will share Rouge Theater's Facebook page in case you wish to learn more about their offerings. They don't have much of anything announced just yet, but for example, one of the big names that they're bringing in next month is Jose Joel, the son of the late Mexican crooner Jose Jose. So if they are thinking of bringing in important names from Mexico, then hopefully this will be an important new live performance venue here in the city. I'm looking forward to finding out more about their offerings. In other news, it's got to be noon somewhere, and in case you're wondering where the largest cantina in the world is located, Informador kindly reminds us that it is located in Tlaquepaque within the Guadalajara metropolitan area. It is called El Parian, and it is a required stop for visitors and locals. El Parian is actually a conglomerate of 19 restaurants and bars that are branded as a single entity, which makes it very convenient when those nice people from Guinness World Records stop by from time to time. It was built as a market originally, but during the earliest 20th century, restaurants started moving in, and soon after they were followed by mariachi bands that made the habit of performing there a tradition that remains today. So if you're in Guadalajara and are planning to visit Tlaquepaque, a stop at El Parian is definitely recommended. Now, we mentioned this briefly the other day, and now it's official. Our cluster friends Carmen and Claudia from Oculto have just announced a traditional Mexican independence dinner that will take place on September 15. The dinner will feature a 3-course menu showcasing chiles and nogada as their main dish. Oculto offers private dinners, cooking classes, and can even come to your home and cook for you as well. Details about this dinner are going to be available in the show notes as usual. And soon enough, we'll have a reminder segment on chiles en nogada, Mexico's emblematic dish that honors the colors of the Mexican flag with a green stuffed poblano pepper, a white nut sauce, and red pomegranate seeds. But in the meantime, check out this dish that caught my attention over the weekend. Yes, it seems to be a chile relleno burger. The nice folk from Hamburgo Peve came up with their own take on chiles en nogada by offering a seasonal burger with Angus beef and the rest of the ingredients. Are you intrigued? Or does it make you cringe? Is it a go or is it a no-go? I am intrigued. I definitely want to go try it. Or maybe I'm just very hungry this morning. Hamburgo Peve is located on Hamburgo Street in Versalles, which is one of the streets that has become populated with a bunch of restaurants and other eating offerings. And I have one more. No, I have two more. First of all, our nice friends from Ruta Mushi, Puerto Vallarta's own traveling museum, have announced a new exhibition, this time focusing on Mexico's traditional sport, charreria or charros. The exhibition will be inaugurated this evening at 7 p.m. at Parque Hidalgo. How can you have a traveling museum, you're probably wondering? Well, the nice organizers went and purchased a second-hand bus and turned it into an itinerant museum that sets up shop at public plazas throughout the city, updating their exhibitions from time to time. And the last thing that I have for you today, look at how time flies when we have a lot of things to talk about. The last thing that I have for today is just a friendly reminder of my dear friend Memo Lira's walking tour guide. Memo is a walking tour guide, and tomorrow he's going to be offering this silent Malecón sculpture walk. If you look closely at the photograph, there are some headphones hanging from that sculpture, and that is because in this unique walking tour, you get to listen to the descriptions by way of wireless headphones. That is right. This is a free walking tour. You can move freely around the sculptures and still listen to crystal clear commentary and music played by your host. It's an immersive 90-minute cultural experience that you can enjoy for free tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. You will have to miss coffee and headlines, but that's okay. That's what the reruns are there for. And now, after that long batch of news and interesting stuff, I love Mondays when I have a lot of things to share. Some Mondays are really slim, but not today. Look at all those wonderful good mornings. Thank you so very much for that. And I see many hellos. Thank you for that, Rob. I'm still stuff coming out of my nose and my throat, but I'm gonna be fine in a couple of days. Christy, I was just talking about you. I love it. You're gonna be back before you know it. There is a question. Replacing those bricks will make pushing the wheelchair much easier for us. Oh, Dan, I can only imagine. You know, it was a colorful idea to put bricks on the ground to begin with. I mean, they look really pretty. What the city is planning on doing is filling them up with cement, and then they're going to paint over them. I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but that's what's going to happen. Bill Abbott, I owe you one, because I told you that I would come by last week and take a look at your new ovens, and I didn't, and I was planning on doing it Friday on Saturday, but my nose got the best of me. I promise solemnly that I'll stop by sometime this week. I really do. Michael says, was just told of Fiestas Guadalupanas de Puerto Vallarta from December 1st to the 12th. Supposed to be huge, colorful cultural experience. Any background on it? Well, it's been going on for years, Michael. Puerto Vallarta celebrates the procession of the Virgin de Guadalupe, or the Guadalupe Virgin, Virgin of Guadalupe, during the first 12 days of December. This is a traditional celebration that goes on for 12 days with the processions going from different parts of the city to the main church. It is a big, colorful cultural experience. It's also a mess because it creates all kinds of traffic jams. No, Luna, you cannot lie down on top of my new blanket. Nope, don't do that. And we'll be talking about this as the date nears. Let's see what else we have. Oh, you guys have all kinds of fun comments about the Guadalupe processions. Just don't expect to be able to drive between Emiliano Zapata and Cinco de Diciembre in a timely manner. Well, that pretty much boils down to the basics. That's the cliff notes of the Guadalupe processions. It's something to enjoy if you're walking around, the downtown area. But if you have to get from point A to point B through the city, it can be a little bit challenging. Uh, let's see what else we have. Do, 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 do. Thank you for your comments on my blankie. Thank you. I am so excited. I love a travel blankie. Da 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 da. Oh, Jess. Okay, this is almost private, but Jess is Den and Kathy's daughter. If mom is getting sassy, it will be easier to give her a shove, release her, and let her roll. Now, you don't want to let Kathy just roll on her own, on her wheelchair. And Kathy replies, Mom here, I'm surprised he hasn't done it yet, and he would most likely deserve it if he did. Oh my goodness. Let's see what else we have. New friend Selena Luna is here. Selena is one of the other teachers at the Joint co-working hotel. She teaches acting for social media, and she's now starting to organize all kinds of events in town. Pay attention to her offerings. Hello, Selena. It's great to see you. There's another cue here. Been there, and fabulous restaurant in Cantina, and love the mariachi in Tlaquepaque. Yes, it is a lovely place, and I'm glad that you've been there before, Sherry. Then your comments on the burger. Some of you are intrigued by it. I love it. And there is a question here. Does anyone know where one can buy a set of the Loteria cards? You know, that is such a great question. The Mexican Loteria. You know, I would think that a place in the market that sells Mexican toys should have it, but I'm not entirely certain. I don't have my own set, but there's that option. If anybody else has purchased a Loteria set and has a tip on where to find one, please share this, because that is an excellent question. Doody doo 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 doo. Let's see. Oh, Shelly, thank you for the kind offering to bring yarn, but I think we have yarn. We're good. We're good. There's plenty of yarn in the house. Let's see what else. Let's see. Doody doody doo. I think we're done. My goodness, we are done. I don't see any more cues, so this is a good time to change screens, to remind you that you make things possible, to thank you for your continued support and for your company. It is great to get together with you every morning. I hope you're looking forward to a great week. I am. And I hope you have a good one. And I hope to see you again soon, maybe even tomorrow. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.